Hey, how's it going, guys? Domino Paris 21 here, and I'm back again with special guest Daniel from Am Vanguard. David, he is at work right now, so he couldn't make it here. But hey, we got the cooler side of Am Vanguard. Just kidding. Love you, David. But yeah, we're actually here to present you guys with the first video of my top 5 segment, I guess you can say, for my channel. It's actually a segment that I thought of doing a while back, but I kind of like put it off for a while, and I kind of forgot about it until the guys of Am Vanguard actually started putting it on their channel, so that reminded me to do my own. So yeah, in celebration of English players finally getting set 10 and 11, which has been anticipated for a while, I thought to start off the top 5 segment with the top 5 brake rides in the game right now. Now granted, some of these categories I will have updates for it as new sets come, but I think this would be a nice little start for us for this segment. So we kind of devised together with holding back as much bias as possible with our respective decks, a list of 5 brake rides that we feel are the best right now currently in this game. So this is post set 10 and 11. So yeah, without further ado, let's actually get started. So first off, for number 5, we have Blue Flight Dragon Transcorp Dragon. I don't know why you say dragon twice in the name. But yeah, of course, it is the brake ride for Aquaforce. His skill reads, Limit Break 4, when an Aquaforce unit rides on top of him, gains plus 10k, is all the brake rides do. And then your Vanguard for the rest of the turn gains the skill of, whenever your Vanguard attacks, your opponent has to discard 1 card from their hand. If not, they cannot call anything to the Guardian Circle, and then he gains a crit. Now Daniel, you actually suggested Transcorp to be number 5. What are some of your reasons about it?
Well, I mean, I say even if the crit is nice, you know, by the time you break ride, your opponent is probably going to have that perfect card ready for that crit, or, you know, discarding just a perfect card. But I mean, you know, it's just a nice card as well, but the reason it's number 5 is that it's not as, like, you know, game breaking as some other break rides that we're about to show. So, like, it doesn't create that much of a push other than just discarding your opponent's hand. Yeah,
I mean, he's still a fairly effective brake ride by himself. I mean, you can still like brake ride over himself. I mean, it does net a guaranteed card from your opponent's hand unless they like to die. I mean, also too, the way some of the criteria that we are weighing about when it comes to this list is how well the brake ride works with their respective decks. I mean, we're still looking at the skill of the card, but how well they can also work with their respective decks as well. Right now with Transcorp, there's really no grade 3s that work extremely well with him, except for Glory Maelstrom. I mean, we all know how situationally this combo is nice, but it's very situational, of course, so it's not as consistently great as compared to the others. But nonetheless, I mean, he's still a very good solid card, still a very expensive card too, but but still very effective by himself, but like I said, just not as game breaking as the later cards in this list. But Transcorp, really good spot at number 5. Next for number 4, we have, this was a little bit debated in these middle spots, but we have Beast 80 Ethics Buster as number 4. Now Daniel, what are some, I know you were flip-flopping between Ethics Buster. I think initially we had this number 3, but what made you want to put it up to number 4?
Well, at the moment, I mean, there's no really cards in Beast 80 at the moment that can really utilize the skill that well. I mean, the cards right now we have is still good, but then, like, you know, Ethics Buster, I think will benefit more from the later cards that will come. But
like his actual cross rides?
Yeah, at the moment, like, it's just, you know, same with Transcorp, it's not as game breaking, and his standing 2 rear guard is nice, but it's not going to make that much of a push in the long run. So. Yeah,
I mean, unless in like those very late game scenarios. I mean, I personally play this deck, of course. I mean, this is coming from my deck. I mean, Ethics Buster, he's good enough to just be his own deck. I mean, most of the time, I mean, Daniel's been playing against his deck a few times. I just break ride over Ethics as much, and I just keep abusing his standing ability. I mean, I do like it that we do have the Beast 80 Ride Horn, which stands
to make a full power column.
Yeah. So of course, I mean, he's very effective in this deck, especially in a perfect world where like Kagura's Eradicators don't exist. But yeah, that's really, like, this starter itself actually makes this card a lot more effective. Like I said, there's really no good grade 3s that can greatly benefit from Ethics Buster necessarily, or that can enhance their own ability from Ethics Buster, in my opinion. So, but Ethics Buster, really good solid card by himself, and he could definitely win you some games here and there with the skill alone. So I still definitely like Ethics Buster. Now next for number 3, Of course, I think like 2 of us in this room play Genesis, but we got Oracle Queen Himiko. So Daniel, of course, you've been playing Genesis from like day 1, ever since Japan, when you started like playing Japanese cards. Well, what do you like so much about Himiko? I'll let you explain.
My bias is that it's going to take up the rest of the video, but I'll try to shorten it as much as possible here. But what's great about Himiko is that the Genesis doesn't have that much of a push in the rear guard circles themselves. Like, they're really weak in each of their individual attacks. But what Himiko does is that it gives them a nice like +5 case to their rear guard circle, so that you can go for those pushes that you need in like game to make up for those resource like that you lost, or like damage that you've taken. And she also has a nice secondary effect that lets you draw 1 card by soul blasting 3. That's where witches come in too, and they can pretty much make up the column that you didn't have, or like just netting you more pluses by making full power column.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously, of course, Ganslot, of course, powers up 3 rear guards, but what Himiko, I think, makes a step up to Ganslot, of course, is Himiko works so well with the deck because like these witches, I mean, they're really amazing just because you can enable their skills. I mean, potentially you can either replenish a field if Eradicators or Kagero keeps like pooping on your field. You have like no rear guards, or you can just simply attack with 1 column, and then just, if you have these 2 in soul, you can just like replace a full column, so you can pull off another attack.
Yeah, the soul blast isn't that much of a cost for Genesis. It's more of a plus for them if you have the right soul. So.
But yeah, Himiko, I think very solid, enables very good important skills for Genesis. The +5, of course, is really good as well. Just being able to draw cards is good. So
yeah, the only thing holding it back is, as I said, the Genesis doesn't have that much of a push that they need during the early and mid game to really make use of the +5s and those pushes. But Himiko's still good. Genesis is still good. It's a fun deck to play, and
I mean, there's even more support coming later.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're gonna like instantly jump to like a top tier status, but that'll be another video for that. So yeah, Himiko number 3. Now. Next up for number 2, I mean, I'm sure you guys pretty much can already predict which one's going to be which. We did a little bit of debate, but I mean, once we kind of thought about it, there's really no question about it on these top 2, which you'll see in a bit. So number 2, of course, is my fellow Kagero unit, Dauntless Dragon. Just look at that pose. He doesn't care. Come at me, bro. But yeah, so really, really good card. Of course, originating from set 11. What he does is Limit Break 4. When you ride a Kagero, you on top, +10, just like any break ride. And your Vanguard does gain the skill of, when he attacks your opponent's Vanguard, and the Vanguard did not stand at the end of battle, you discard 3 Kagero, stand him up again. Of course, the common version of Dauntless is the Dauntless the End build. Obviously, because Dauntless can just help make those really big pushes late game, and then you can just start pressuring with the end. Or if you have the Persona Blast with the end, you can attempt to do it again. But Dauntless Drive, like right now with Kagero, there's really no like really good effective grade 3 Kageros that really synergize really well with Dauntless. But the fact that Dauntless is just such a good effective card by himself is just what makes this card really amazing, and he can single-handedly win you a game as well.
Yeah, whatever the cost is, restanding is a powerful ability no matter what. So
yeah, just getting 2 twin drives can definitely be really huge. So I mean, like Dauntless, like he doesn't necessarily like synergize really well with the Kageros, at least right now, until like they get later support and better bosses to go with him. But just the fact is that individually, he's just such a great card, and I mean, combining his restanding ability with Kagero, constantly, threatening your rear guards and retiring rear guards, forcing more cards from your hand to replace them. I mean, it can really be tough to block him sometimes. And then, of course, last but not least, for number 1, the number 1 break ride. Let me actually get it for you guys. Where is it? It is Transcorp Dragon. So, I'm just kidding, guys. It's Bat and Dragger. So, Bat and Dragger, I mean, you guys probably know with Spike Brothers. I mean, we all know, combining Bat and Dragger with Dudley Emperor, I mean, it's just nuts. What he does, obviously, when you ride a grade 3 Spike Brother over him, Vanguard gets +10, and then for the remainder of the turn, you get the skill of whenever one of your Spike Brothers attacks, rear guard units attacks, it gains +10. So, I mean, every time your Spike Brothers attack, it's +10. So, obviously, you combine it with Emperor. I mean, you're going to just throw, like, at least 4 haymakers at your opponent when combining it with Emperor's skill. Baton Draggers, I say he's the best break ride right now, just because he synergizes the best with his combo boss, I guess you can say, and he could single-handedly win you a game, even from like
damage, 3 damage.
I remember I took someone from 1 damage to 6 in a locals with it. I mean, I did hit critical, but it helped me. But it's just amazing. I mean, I know Zag, if you're watching, I mean, you definitely love him at number 1. So I don't know, Daniel. What are some other inputs with Baton Dragger overall? As to why it's number 1.
I mean, you pretty much pointed out all the things, but yeah, as you said, it's a really great break ride. You know, like the fact that you can get +10 to any of your columns, like whichever it attacks, like that's a really great ability. I mean, you can even turn useless like units into like really powerful units that can force out more cards from your opponent's hand, like, and possibly force out at least like 11 cards total from your hand, worth like how many amount of shield like it could be. Like,
there's so much haymakers. Yeah. I like calling them haymakers, but yeah, I mean, you obviously don't want to like ride Baton over Baton unless you're really desperate to try and push for game when your opponent's at 5. But I mean, like I said, this is right now. This is the best combo. It's nuts. I mean, but yeah, it's very devastating, and people don't like to give me limit break whenever I play this deck against them. So yeah, so there you have it, guys. So just a quick overview and recap. We have Baton Draggers number 1, Dauntless number 2, the ever so lovely goddess Himiko is number 3. Ethics Buster is number 4, and Transcorp is number 5. Oop, let me fit them all on the camera. I'll do like a pyramid. There we go. So, as always, guys, don't forget to leave a comment down below and share with us your opinions on this list. What are your thoughts on it? Do you agree with the list? Do you not? And just share with us what your thoughts on. And as always, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on this video. That's always greatly appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe to myself, Paris21, and I Am Vanguard. Thank you, Daniel, again for making your somewhat appearance. I mean, you're not really showing your face. But until next time, guys, definitely look forward to an update as new sets come out. And once again, thank you guys again for watching. See you later.